Tate Taylor walked onto the track next to an Olympic champion, and nobody in that stadium expected what was about to happen. He was 18, he was still in high school, and when the race ended, the fastest men alive were left staring at him because he had done something that had never happened before in this event. The Prefontaine Classic is not a normal track meet. It is the only stop the Diamond League makes in the United States, held on the most famous track in the sport, Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon. Every summer, the best sprinters, jumpers, and distance runners on Earth show up to compete for money, ranking points, and respect. World record holders, national champions, reigning Olympic gold medalists. The meet is named after Steve Prefontaine, the Oregon distance runner whose legend still hangs over this stadium decades after his death. This is not a place where an 18-year-old is supposed to win. The same day carried plenty of its own headlines. Jack Tharp broke the world record in the 110-meter hurdles. Masai Russell won the women's 100-meter hurdles in a meet record time. Melissa Jefferson Wooden edged Sha'Carri Richardson in the women's 100. This was a day built for big performances. Somehow, the biggest story of all belonged to a high school senior. Tate Taylor is a senior at Harlan High School in San Antonio, Texas. He is 18 years old. That day, he stepped into lane 3 of the men's 200 meters, right next to reigning Paris Olympic champion Letsile Tebogo of Botswana. It was Taylor's very first Diamond League race. Through the opening 50 meters, Taylor sat in 4th place. Jamaica's Brian Lavelle went out hard and led the turn, but Taylor built through the middle of the race, moving into 2nd by halfway. With less than 60 meters left, he caught level, took the lead, and never gave it back. Down the final stretch, with Tebogo closing hard from behind, Taylor held his form and crossed the line first. He hit the 100-meter mark in 10.21 seconds. Over the second half of the race, he ran a blistering 9.54. His final time was 19.75 seconds. That time won the race outright. Breaking 20 seconds in the 200 meters is a wall that separates good sprinters from great ones. Only a small group of athletes on the entire planet have ever managed it. Doing it as a grown professional is hard enough. Doing it as a high school senior against a loaded international field is something almost nobody saw coming. Tebogo, the Olympic champion, crossed 2nd in 1993. Zimbabwe's Mkanakaishe Chiramba took 3rd in 20.11. Tebogo is not just any Olympic medalist. He is the reigning gold medalist from the Paris Games, one of the most dominant 200-meter runners alive. Chiramba has spent the season quietly building into one of the fastest men in the world himself. Only Taylor and Tebogo broke 20 seconds that day, in a field that also included Courtney Lindsay, Jarnell Hughes, and Lavelle, sprinters who have run on some of the biggest stages in the sport. Afterward, Taylor said he had warned his coach and his father before the race. He told them that anyone who wanted to beat him would need to run something incredible. Tebogo, gracious in defeat, admitted there were a few things he could have done better, but said he was already looking ahead to the next race. An 18-year-old high schooler had just beaten an Olympic champion and a world-class field in his Diamond League debut. The number itself, 19.75, is a new national high school record. It beat Taylor's own previous record by nearly 0.2 of a second, which in the 200 meters is a massive gap. This time came with a catch that makes it even more impressive. Taylor ran it into a headwind of -0.9 meters per second. A headwind pushes straight against a sprinter for the entire race, slowing them down more than most people realize. Even a small headwind can cost several hundredths of a second. A tailwind works the opposite way, which is why track officials only allow a tailwind up to 2.0 meters per second before a time can still count as an official record. Wind calculators are not perfect, but they give a rough idea of what a time might look like without wind working against a runner. Run through one of these tools, Taylor's performance comes out to a wind-neutral time of about 19.66 seconds. Push it further and give him the maximum legal tailwind allowed for a record, and the number that comes back is 19.52. That number is not random. It is the exact time Noah Lyles ran to set the Prefontaine Classic meet record back in 2021, a record that still stands. A high school senior running into a headwind produced a performance that lines up with one of the fastest 200-meter races ever run on that same track. To understand how fast Taylor is moving, look at where his season started. In April, at the Tom Jones Invitational in Florida, he ran 20. 05, breaking a national high school record Noah Lyles had held since 2016. In June, at the Lone Star Grand Prix in Texas, he ran 1997, becoming the first high school athlete in American history to officially break 20 seconds in the 200 meters. He still finished second that day, behind Charamba, who won it in a personal best of 1988. A month later at the Prefontaine Classic, the two would meet again, and this time Taylor crossed the line well ahead of him. 2 weeks after that Lone Star race, at the USATF U20 Championships, he lowered that mark again to 1994. Then came the Prefontaine Classic, and 1975, 4 races, 4 new national records. All in the same season. This was not a sudden jump. Taylor's path here started years earlier than most people realize. As a freshman in 2023, he ran 10.9 in the 100 meters. The next year, he improved to 10.28 outdoors and finished runner-up in the 100 at the Texas State Championship. That summer, running for his club team, he won the 200 meters at the USATF National Junior Olympics, fighting through a strong headwind to run 20.66. In 2025, he set the American under-20 record in the 100 meters at 9.92 seconds, a mark that still stands, and he was named the nation's top high school track and field athlete that year. In January, at an indoor meet in Virginia, he ran the 300 meters in 32.45 seconds, breaking a national high school record that had stood since 2018. He also holds the national indoor 200-meter record at 20.46. Every year, the times kept dropping. Senior year brought 4 national records in 4 straight races. Only 2 athletes under the age of 20 have ever run the 200 meters faster than Taylor. Erriyon Knighton once ran 19.49, but that mark was never recognized as a high school record because he had already turned professional. Australia's Gout Gout holds the official world under-20 record at 1967. Outside those 2 names, nobody this age has ever run faster. For comparison, Noah Lyles ran 20.9 as a high schooler. That stood as the national record for a decade. Every 200-meter race Taylor ran in the 2026 season, except for 1 early qualifying round, was faster than the best 200 Noah Lyles ever ran in high school. Taylor has committed to run college track at Texas Tech, though after a season like this, the path to running professionally sooner is clearly open to him too. He also made a choice most sprinters his age never get to make. He skipped his final high school state season entirely, deciding the state meet had nothing left to offer him. Instead, he spent his senior year racing against Olympic and world champions and beating some of them. With the Prefontaine win, Taylor became the first high school athlete in history to win a Diamond League 200-meter race. His senior year alone shaved 0.4 of a second off his personal best, a drop most sprinters never make across an entire career. This is not the end of his season either. The World Athletics U20 Championships are set to run from August 5th through the 9th. Back at Hayward Field, the same track where Taylor ran 19.75. That stadium last hosted this event back in 2014, over a decade earlier. The world's best junior athletes will arrive at the exact ground where Taylor made history, and he will not have to travel a single mile to get there. It gives him one more shot on the fastest track available to him to push this record even lower.